Three important developments regarding ongoing Ethiopian conflict. Firstly, Tigray government has issued an official statement in response to a report released by Amnesty International, which is an inquiry into human rights abuses committed in Nefas Mewcha town of Amhara region by TDF fighters. What is Tigray saying in this statement? Secondly, African Union mediator Obasanjo is back in Mekelle. This is Obasanjo's second visit of Mekelle in almost 3 days. Is there any hope of the success of this mediation effort? Thirdly, we have some updates for you from an important front, and the front is Mille. Ethiopia-Djibouti road. TDF was advancing. It was trying to advance towards Mille from two places, Shifra, Bati. What is the latest? For the last 7 days, we have been hearing that TDF is trying to advance towards the strategic Ethiopia-Djibouti road towards Mille. Has TDF made any significant gains on this front so far? We'll have a detailed look at this front today. Firstly, viewers, Tigray's government has issued an official statement. Today, a few hours ago, Amnesty International released a report in which the body, Amnesty International, says that in August this year, TDF fighters committed human rights abuses in Nefas Mewcha town of Amhara region. More than a dozen women were raped by TDF fighters according to the report. Now, Tigray government in its official statement says that the methodology adopted by Amnesty International is flawed. The report is based on remote interviews. Amnesty did not send any investigative team on the ground in Nefas Mewcha. That is why the report is flawed. And Tigray is calling for independent investigations into war crimes committed, if any, in Nefas Mewcha. Now, it was when Amnesty released a report about Aksum massacre a few months ago, if you remember. Back then, Ethiopian government leveled similar objections and allegations. Back then, Ethiopian government had said that the report was based on remote interviews. And Tigray government had welcomed that report. Now, Tigray government is saying that this report on Nefas Mewcha, it's flawed because it is based on remote interviews. There was no investigative body on the ground. So that is why it is not credible. It is not reliable. And Ethiopian government is sharing this report as a piece of evidence that TDF fighters are involved in grave human rights abuses in Amhara. So you see, viewers, both sides only accept those reports which fit their narratives. And both sides call for independent investigations. Amnesty is an independent body. Which other bodies do you want to investigate these war crimes? Amnesty report rejected. Ethiopian Human Rights Commission is partial. UN Human Rights Body did some investigations, rejected. So which type of body will be acceptable for both parties? I am unable to understand. If some international investigative bodies, human rights bodies are sharing reports about human rights abuses in Tigray, Amhara or Afar, regional governments, federal government, they must build on these reports. They must investigate further on their own. They must seek the help of the investigative body, and they must then try to bring perpetrators to justice. Instead, the two parties, they reject these investigations altogether, and they call for independent investigations. I don't know what they mean by independent investigations. Secondly, viewers, Obasanjo, African Union mediator, is once again back in Mekelle. This is Obasanjo's second visit of Mekelle in almost 3 days. Obasanjo has held meetings once again with Debretsion Gebremichael and Geta Choreda. Geta Choreda tweeted about peace initiatives a few hours ago. I think his tweet came after this meeting. The tweet was not very encouraging about mediation process, because he had said that peace initiatives were aimed at saving PM Abiy. They were not addressing real political conflicts which Ethiopia is facing. If Geta Choreda tweeted after this meeting, it means that mediation is not on the right course. That is what it seems, that TPLF is working on post-Abiy transition. It is on record. It has said that it is in talks with other stakeholders. It wants to plan the post-Abiy transition period. PM Abiy is keeping the siege on Tigray. He is not retreating as well. Obasanjo is trying to find a solution without the removal of PM Abiy from power. So how will he mediate? That remains to be seen. Secondly, viewers, I have written a detailed article about mediation efforts since November, when this war started, till today, on my website. You can read this article on my website, www.myviewsonnews.net. In news features section, you can read the article. Please give your valuable suggestions after reading the article on www.myviewsonnews.net. Lastly, viewers, Mille front, Ethiopia-Djibouti road. Almost a week ago, TDF started advancing from Shifra and Bati towards Mille. Has TDF made any gain so far? Because 48 hours ago, TDF started a new offensive from Bati towards Kasagita. Now, fighting is still being reported close to Bati. In Kasagita town, there is heavy fighting being reported. Some buildings have been burnt as well. We have seen some satellite imagery too. That fighting is mostly going on in and near Kasagita, which is close to Bati, not close to Mille. Because yesterday we heard some Tigray-backed sources that fighting was happening near Mille. No, fighting is not going on near Mille. It is rather being reported near Bati, near Shifra. So far, what we have learned is that TDF has not made any considerable gains. TDF is still close to Bati and Shifra. Kasagita is contested, where fighting is being reported, and TDF is finding it very difficult to move towards Mille, Ethiopia-Djibouti road. Now, keeping in view the resistance that TDF is facing on this front, even if TDF manages to reach Ethiopia-Djibouti road, will it be able to keep on holding the area between Shifra and Mille, Bati and Mille? It will be difficult for TDF to remain in control of this strip between Bati and Mile, Shifra and Mile, and the road as well, Ethiopia-Djibouti road. Once again, a far front is proving to be a tricky front for Tigray Defense Force. I have been saying in previous videos as well that in flat areas, in desert areas, TDF TDF's advance always slows down. We have seen that. This is the second time the TDF's advance towards Ethiopia-Djibouti road is faced with very stiff resistance. So far, no considerable gains by Tigray Defense Force from Bati and Shifra towards Mile. Thanks for watching.